Live and on demand from the WNY News Now studios in downtown Jamestown. This is WNY News Now.
And thanks for joining us for WNY News Now on this Monday. I'm Justin Gould. Here's what's happening. The Chautauqua County Sheriff's Office says someone called in a swatting prank over the weekend. Plus, why U.S. Senator Kirsten Gillibrand is visiting Jamestown. But first, some breaking news.
This is WNY News Now with live breaking news.
And Dunkirk's mayor will continue as mayor after absentee ballots were counted this morning. According to the Chautauqua County Board of Elections, Willie Rosas will be re-elected as mayor following an absentee vote ballot count. Now, the final unofficial vote results, including absentee, is 1,660 to 1,601 in favor of Rosas over his Republican challenger. The 59-vote margin compares to the 48-vote margin that Rosas had on election night. And because there were 123 absentee ballots, the final results awaited that count. We, of course, will continue to have much more on this election-breaking news there as Rosas wins by one vote there in the city of Dunkirk. He is a longtime mayor for Dunkirk, and we will have much more on WNYNewsNow.com as the day progresses. But first, before we get to other news, let's check in with Dakota with a first look at our weather. Hey, Dakota.
Hey, Justin, and happy Monday, everybody. And winning by one vote. Wow, talk about being a close race. Here's a live look at Presque Isle Beach, and the clouds are hanging around today, and this is going to be the story throughout the day today. A lot of socked in cloud cover, but there may be a few peaks in the cloud cover throughout the day. A lot of this stuff is actually going to be moving to our northeast. You can actually see the direction of the motion, so this is not really going to be impacting us, but there will be a small chance of a light rain or snow shower through the day. And looking down the road, we'll talk more about this later, but looking down the road, it's looking like it's going to be chilly over the next 6 to 10 days. And again, this month has been very much below average. We're running 11 degrees below average for average temperatures. But yeah, if you're looking for a warm up, don't expect it anytime soon. Hour by hour temperatures into the mid to upper 30s. Again, mostly cloudy throughout the day. There will be that small chance for that spotty rain or snow shower, but the majority of the day will be dry. A little bit more precipitation tonight and early tomorrow, and we'll talk about it later in the show. Justin?
Alrighty, Dakota, thank you very much. Our top story, the Chautauqua County Sheriff's Office is looking into a swatting prank that was called in over the weekend. Now, deputies say on Saturday, several law enforcement agencies responded to a report of an armed subject who had been involved in a shooting incident on Pigeon Road in the town of Westfield. Now, while en route to that scene, deputies learned that the suspect was not there, but rather at another location within Westfield. Deputies responded to there and made contact with the subject who was allegedly in possession of the weapon. Now, investigation revealed that there was no shooting and the suspect was unarmed. Further investigation showed that the call may have been a swatting prank. Now, luckily, no one was injured during the incident. No charges have been filed. Deputies say the investigation into that false report is ongoing. Well, the city of Jamestown man is facing several charges following an investigation into an open 911 call over the weekend. Jamestown police say that 29-year-old Marcus McAfee was arrested at a Broadhead Avenue house after officers responded to the open 911 call with people yelling in the background Saturday night. Officers say when they arrived, they discovered McAfee had an active arrest warrant from Jamestown police. Now, while trying to place him into custody, McAfee allegedly tried to pull away from the cops. Additionally, McAfee's mother, 46-year-old Karen Shinsky Bush, allegedly tried to interfere with officers, affecting McAfee's arrest. Police say she was also arrested. Now, while searching McAfee, police allegedly found a small quantity of methamphetamine. The duo were taken to Jamestown City Jail and faced several charges in connection with that case. Well, a Village of Bolivar man was arrested in connection with a fatal overdose last week. New York State's police violent gang and narcotics enforcement team arrested 38-year-old Michael Perkins following an overdose death on Friday. Troopers say Perkins was charged after allegedly providing the fatal dose of heroin fentanyl mixture to the victim. Perkins is charged with criminally negligent homicide, that an E felony, and third-degree criminal sale of a controlled substance, a B felony. He was arraigned and committed to county jail. And in case you missed it, teachers at Jamestown High School overwhelmingly voted no confidence in Jamestown High School's principal's ability to keep students safe following a fight at the school this month. President of the Jamestown Teachers Association, Stephanie Sherardi, says the lack of student discipline by Principal Dr. Rosemary Bradley has led to a dangerous learning environment at the school. Now, furthermore, Sherardi believes that Dr. Bradley ignored the concerns previously brought forward by the union. The union says the tipping point was on November 6th when a fight broke out among several students in the hallway of the high school, leading to a lockdown of the building and police intervention. Now, members of that association plans to present additional concerns to the Jamestown Board of Education at their next meeting on December 3rd at 6 p.m. in the boardroom at Jefferson Middle School. Well, hopefully everyone is having a great Monday out there. Thanks so much for joining us here on WNY News Now. Let's check in with Lori. She says hello to you, Lori. Thanks. Hope you're having a good day. Good afternoon to Corey. Good afternoon to David. Hopefully you are enjoying the day. And you're right, yay, no snow. No snow yet. That's the big thing. Hello to Alberta as well. Good afternoon. And it looks like Lori is celebrating a wedding, a marriage. Congratulations, Lori. She says now Mrs. Figueroa, a.k.a. Mrs. Johnson from previous. So thank you, Lori. Hopefully you are having a good day and congratulations. Hello to Mackenzie, Cody, Pam, and Joanna as well. Hopefully you are all having a good day. We have a lot more to tell you about this half hour. Straight ahead, the election may be over, but lawmakers are still talking about early voting. Why? We'll tell you next. But first, New York's junior senator will be in Jamestown today. What she plans to talk about. Dakota.
And the high yesterday was 39. 28 was the low this morning, and there's the record, 68 and 8. Those are in the record books, not set too far back, but there may be a chance we'll see one above average day this week. We'll talk about it as WNY News Now continues in a minute. Don't go away.
Live and on demand, you're watching WNY News Now.
EagleZip.com is your local one-stop shop for all of your home and business computer needs. Located on Fluvanna Avenue Extension, just outside of Jamestown, EagleZip.com sells and services all brands of desktops and laptops, as well as servers and network equipment for your business. All new computer sales include transferring your data from your old computer plus a 2-year warranty. Call EagleZip.com today.
Stop by EagleZip.com today and let us make computers easy for you.
With coverage that matters. This is WNY News Now.
Want weather now? Download the WNY News Now mobile app and stay up to date on severe weather alerts. Plus, anytime hazardous weather strikes, stick with the Southern Tier's only 24/7 streaming network that keeps you safe. You're all in a tornado warning, so now is the time to go to a safe place, small room, lowest floor, near the center, away from windows. What are you waiting for? Download the WNY News Now mobile app today. It's free in the Apple App Store and Google Play Store.
Well, happening now, New York's junior senator is expected to push her Rebuild Rural America Act during a visit to SUNY JCC this afternoon. According to U.S. Senator Kirsten Gillibrand's office, the senator will unveil legislation that would prioritize federal investment for rural communities and small towns across the state. Now, Rebuild Rural America Act aims to improve the way the federal government supports development projects in small towns and rural communities in order to better fit their specific needs. The senator says the federal grant funding is often inaccessible to rural communities and too inflexible to fully meet local development needs. Now, that makes it difficult for small towns to plan and implement comprehensive long-term development projects required to address the complex challenges they face. The Rebuild Rural America Act would, according to Gillibrand, establish a dedicated system of federal funding for rural communities to provide guaranteed multi-year flexible block grants to support regional economic growth. Gillibrand is scheduled to speak today at 3 o'clock at SUNY JCC's Weeks Reception Hall. Well, New York is taking a look at how its first experiment with early voting went this past election. Now, the legislature is holding a meeting on Wednesday to hear more about early voting in New York. Now, New York introduced its system in a quiet election year ahead of the 2020 presidential contest. New Yorkers raised concerns about the cost, the rollout of election voter rolls, and locations of early voting sites. The State Board of Elections has said over 256,000 people cast their ballot before Election Day between October 26th and November 3rd under early voting. Now, it's unclear just what impact early voting had on turnout. Some experts say early voting could be just another option for voters who otherwise would have turned out to vote on Election Day. While eating a big meal for dinner can leave you feeling uncomfortable, but consistently overindulging in the evening can lead to some serious heart problems, as Britt Conway explains in today's Health Minute.
Sitting down for a nice meal is always a good way to end the day. Just make sure it isn't the biggest meal you've had all day. According to a preliminary study by the American Heart Association, women who consumed more of their daily calories later in the evening were at a greater risk for cardiovascular disease than women who didn't. Study participants tracked what they ate for 1 week at the beginning of the study and for 1 week 12 months later. Researchers found that while most study participants consumed some food after 6 p.m., those who consumed a higher proportion of their daily calories after that time had poorer heart health. And with every 1% increase in calories consumed after 6 p.m., the likelihood of higher blood pressure, body mass index, and poorer long-term control of blood sugar increased. And while this study only considered a small sample of 112 women, experts say it's an important step to understanding the connection between diet and cardiovascular risk factors. For today's Health Minute, I'm Britt Conway.
Alrighty, Britt, very interesting there. Thank you. Well, this year's flu season is getting an early start. That's according to the experts at the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention. They say 30 states are already recording some flu activity, and for the first time of the year, that's the highest number they've seen in decades. In fact, California, Louisiana, and Maryland already have cases of widespread flu. 7 other states are seeing regional cases of the virus. Health officials say it's more important than ever to get your flu shot now. And so far, the vaccine appears to be a good match to fight the active strains making people sick. Well, certainly we talk about this all the time. It's quite the debate, right? To get vaccinated or not to get vaccinated. And the CDC and health officials here in Chautauqua County say it's a good idea because it helps prevent that. But I know a lot of people, and I can agree with you in some sense of it too, aren't really feeling it. But I always get my flu vaccine just to be safe than sorry. Although I always seem to still get sick, so I don't know how that works out. Hello to Joe. Hopefully you're doing well. Thanks so much for tuning in here on the broadcast. And we want to remind everyone of a little bit of breaking election news that we talked about off the top of the broadcast. Dunkirk's Mayor Willie Rosas, he has won election today following an absentee ballot recount. If you remember, on election night and the days thereafter, we've talked about how he narrowly defeated the Republican challenger in that race. County Board of Election officials say it was too close to call and they needed to count the absentee ballots. Well, now this morning at 10 o'clock, they counted the absentee ballots, with the results being 1,660 votes over 1,601 in favor of Rosas. Now, that 59 vote margin compares to the 48 advantage that he had on election night. There were a total of 123 absentee ballots. He won there by 1 vote. Wow. Quite a very close race, and County Board of Election officials say Rosas did indeed win now, and he will be the next mayor, continued mayor of Dunkirk. So very interesting and close margins. It seems like election night still here, nevertheless. Coming up, Chief Forecaster Dakota Hunter. He's here with a live look at this week's weather forecast. And later, Norm Rodriguez is in studio to tell us who won what over the weekend. Details when WNY News Now returns. Pronto Mart, not your average corner store. Located on the corner of Forest and Newland Avenues in Jamestown, Pronto Mart has everything you've been looking for. An amazing selection of hot foods, a large variety of premier headgear, and smoking accessories to fit any style. Pronto Mart, not your average corner store. Stop in and visit us today.
You're watching WNY News Now, where coverage comes first.
Extra, extra, read all about it. Not tomorrow, but right now on the WNY News Now mobile app. Follow local news as it happens.
Top story, a Forestville man's weather video has gone viral.
And stay informed with the Southern Tier's only 24/7 streaming network.
Our Matt Hummel is standing by live outside of Chautauqua County Court with more on this case. Matt, good afternoon to you.
Download the WNY News Now app right now. It's free on the Apple App Store and Google Play Store.
First Defense Weather, the Southern Tier's only live and local weather source. Now, here's Chief Forecaster Dakota Hunter.
Okay, but what if I'm not a woman? Can I still get cardiovascular disease? I think there's something wrong with that study a little bit. Some missing information. Yeah. All right, here we go. The very cold month indeed here, and it has been cold so far this month. Every single day this month has been below average. All this blue indicates a below average temperature. Even on the 4th, the average on the 4th is 53, not 52. So that's why it was a below average day. And the average high now is knocked down to 36.7. Look at where we should be at 48 for the entire month. When you add all these numbers together, we are running 11 degrees below average. But there are signs. Could we see an above average day? Possibly. Look at Thursday, 50 degrees. If we hit it, that will officially be one above average day so far this month. Yahoo! But again, even if we go to 48, that'll be above average because the average high this time of the year is 47 for the daily high. And it's kind of like a ladder. Going up, and then we'll start to go back down again as we go throughout the later weekend of the weekend. News Now, Cam, we've seen a lot of clouds downtown. Little bit of the sun trying to peek through right there. And there might be a few limited peaks of sun today, but not much. 36 current temp, southeast wind to 5, and the wind chill is down to freezing when you combine the air temperature and the wind speed together. First Defense Doppler with the satellite and radar composite. Again, you can see these little spotty little showers trying to pop up from time to time. Again, not out of the question we will see those little spotty showers, but it's going to be very insignificant, and it's not even going to last long, and it's going to be a very light shower. If anything, all of this is actually moving to the northeast, so that will not impact us. Look at this big storm system off the coast over here. This is part of where our next moisture is going to be coming from this storm system out here. This is the high resolution GOES East satellite, so you can see the cloud tops look really amazing in the satellite picture. This is a very high resolution satellite image we've got here. And again, you can also see this rain being thrown into New England. There's a chance for some freezing precipitation, mainly through this area, and we will see a very small chance of that as we go throughout the day. Here's Future Scan. I think the model's overdoing the rain and the snow coverage today. It's going to be very spotty, but look down here in Northwest PA. You can see these little spotty purple areas. That's going to be the chance for maybe a mixture of rain and snow that could freeze. Any ice accretion is going to be very minor, but there could be a couple slick spots on roads tomorrow morning, especially untreated roadways tomorrow morning. Again, the spotty chance for a few rain and snow showers will continue throughout the day tomorrow. Any freezing rain will ultimately end in the morning, but again, very small chance of that, and any ice accumulation is going to be very, very minor. So the Lake Erie shoreline today, hey, we're back into the 40s for the first time in a while, so this will feel nice, but more clouds than sunshine through the afternoon. Inland areas here, again, there's that chance for that spotty rain or snow shower. Temperatures upper 30s to mid 30s in some spots, maybe that isolated shower. Now, I've got the next 7 days of your life, and 39 degrees tomorrow, 41 on Wednesday. We start this uphill climb as we go throughout the week, in 50. That's going to be a heat wave on Thursday, but more rain around, so not a great weather day, but at least it will be a little bit warmer. And then we go right back down to below average temperatures again Friday through the weekend with a chance for a few rain and snow showers. Sports is next. Don't go away.
When you're on the go, stay in the know by downloading the WNY News Now mobile app. Stay up to date on local news, weather, and sports that matter to you. Plus, subscribe to breaking news and weather alerts from the team that puts coverage first. In addition, watch news as it happens with the Southern Tier's only 24/7 streaming network. Download the WNY News Now app right now. It's free on the Apple App Store and Google Play Store.
You're watching WNY News Now, your source for breaking news. WNY Sports Now is powered by Phone Zone of Jamestown. With the largest inventory around, we buy and sell our own merchandise at a price that can't be beat. Have a broken screen? We'll fix it. Learn more at phonezoneshop.com.
Happy Manic Monday, sports fans, and welcome back to WNY News Now. I'm Norm Rodriguez with a look at sports. Over the weekend, the Jamestown Rebels hockey team hosted a 2-game series against the Northeast Generals. Jamestown won the first game on Friday 4-2 and lost the second game on Saturday, which was also 4-2. The Rebels remain in last place in the East with 16 points, 4 points behind the Maryland Black Bears. Jamestown will be back in action on Friday as they will hit the road for a 2-game series against the Wilkes-Barre Scranton Knights, who are in third in the East. The Buffalo Bills won their 7th game of the season on Sunday, defeating the Miami Dolphins 37-20. Josh Allen finished the game with 256 yards passing and a career-high matching 3 touchdowns, extending his streak to 163 pass attempts without an interception. Allen also rushed for another 56 and a touchdown. John Brown caught 9 of Allen's passes for 137 yards and 2 touchdowns, extending his franchise record to 10 games in a row with at least 4 catches and 50 yards receiving in a game. On Miami's end, Ryan Fitzpatrick passed for 323 yards with no touchdowns or interceptions. Jakeem Grant scored 12 of the 20 points for Miami, a 101-yard kickoff return touchdown, and a 7-yard rush touchdown, part of his 205 total yards from scrimmage. Buffalo will return home for their next game next Sunday, as they will host the 3-7 Denver Broncos. Tonight at 8:15, the 4-6 LA Chargers will host the 6-4 Kansas City Chiefs for a Western Divisional battle and with playoff aspirations on the line. The Chargers are coming off of their bye week and lost their recent game, which was a 26-24 loss against the Oakland Raiders on November 7th. Meanwhile, Kansas City lost their last game 35-32 against the Tennessee Titans, being 2-4 in their last 6 games after a 4-0 start. According to ESPN's Power Football Index, the Chiefs have a 73.5% chance to defeat the Chargers. The game will be televised on ESPN. That's it for sports today. Justin and Dakota, back to you.
Alrighty, Norm. Thank you very much. Well, Chautauqua County's Historical Society will be hosting a holiday high tea at their historic McClurg Mansion in Westfield's Moore Park this weekend. Now, Society officials say the tea is part of the group's annual Christmas in the Village series of events. Patrons may feel as though they have stepped back in time as they enjoy delightful and delectable sandwiches, savories, sweets, and beverages while basking in the rich and beautiful ambiance of the mansion. Now, tea will be served Saturday from 11 a.m. until 3 p.m. The cost is $15 and no reservations are needed. Pretty cool. Certainly another great event to step back in time. And there are so many great historical institutions around Chautauqua County, and I think many of them people don't even know about. The Fenton History Center, one that I think is really, really popular, especially if you're from the Jamestown area, you know about it. But
the Audubon Society.
Right.
Yeah.
Roger Tory Peterson Institute, the Jackson Center, we know about those guys. But like this mansion here in Westfield, unless you're from Westfield, maybe you don't hear about it. And they have a ton of stuff.
I didn't even know it existed until 2 seconds ago.
Yeah. There's a train museum in Ripley that in that immediate area that I know a former friend, well, a former teacher. He wasn't my direct teacher, but like he's my friend's dad's my friend's. I screwed this up. He's an educator, okay, and I know who he is. We hang out sometimes. Great history buff. Gotta love him.
This is why news people need scripts.
Yeah, I know. I was trying to explain the relation, so it's. You don't even care, but it's my sister's.
I'm not laughing at you. I'm laughing with you.
I need to explain this because it's going to bother me. It's my sister's friend's dad, who is a teacher, who, you know, as kids, we'd hang out at their house, so I know him from that. Anyways, he volunteers at this museum in Ripley, and like I've been begging them to allow us to do a story on it because it's so cool to see the history that they have. So certainly if you get a chance, go check out the tea. That's all the time I have for today because Dakota wants to talk about a very snowy and cold event that you experienced a number of years ago.
Yeah, 5 years ago. Today is the 5th anniversary of Snowvember, or what I like to label it, the lake effect snowstorm from heck. And this was where we had 7 feet, not 7 inches, 7 feet of accumulated snow in the Buffalo Southtowns and eastern suburbs from a narrow band of lake effect snow that just did not move for basically 2 days. This was my driveway, and I guarantee you the road is there somewhere.
I mean, really? Look at those trees.
Yes. I was snowed into my house. The snow went up above my front door, and at the time, I lived in the South Buffalo neighborhood.
Yeah.
And this was my driveway, and you know, what was odd was the night before at 9 o'clock, we knew the storm was coming. 9 o'clock, I looked outside. The snow was starting to come down. It was starting to accumulate. I got up at 6 o'clock the next morning, and the snow was already about halfway up my front door.
Wow, that's crazy.
And I couldn't get an official measurement because my snow stick was completely buried. But my estimation is at my house in South Buffalo, we probably picked up around a good 6 feet when the whole thing was done and over with.
Wow.
And we will have more on this. I'll do a full, and of course we have a full breakdown coming up on the web weather segment. So there's a teaser for you to tune in for web weather on the website and the app. There's the 7-day. At least we don't have any of that over the next 7 days. But Thursday, 50. Break it down. It's going to feel great. If we can hit anything above 47, that's the average high for this time of the year. We'll have one above average day so far this month.
All right. Hey, we'll take it. 50 degrees. I love it. Dakota, that's an incredible photo. I can't wait to see more coming up in your web weather segment. So you can catch that on WNYNewsNow.com and the mobile app. Usually, 1:30, 2 o'clock it goes up?
Generally about that is when we generally get it up.
Check it out if you can. That's going to do it for us today. Got to say hello to Justin. Good to see you on the broadcast. Great to see Zena and Ellie as well. Hopefully you all are having a wonderful day. We leave you with this live look over Birders Bay and Chautauqua Lake. News continues 24/7 at WNYNewsNow.com. Download our mobile app today to stay in the know when you're on the go. Just search WNY News Now in the Apple App Store and Google Play Store. We'll see you back here tomorrow.